Welcome into the CHGO Blackhawks show powered by ComEd. It's getting easier for your business to switch to electric vehicles. Learn more at comed.com/clean. Thanks for being with us on this very special Thursday. I'm Jay Zawaski with Greg Boysen and Mario Tirabassi. Hey, if you're watching us on YouTube, do us a favor and hammer that like button for us and subscribe to the YouTube page. And if you're listening on the podcast later on, make sure you're following or subscribe there. Let's get right to it, fellas. We've been waiting to do this all week. He is a two-time All-Star. He is a two-time Jennings Trophy winner. He is third all-time in Blackhawks wins. He is second all-time in Blackhawks save percentage, third all-time in Blackhawks goals against average, and fourth all-time in Blackhawks goals saved above average. Most importantly, he is a two-time Stanley Cup champion. He is number 50, Corey Crawford. Corey, thanks for being with us, man. We appreciate this.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks, guys.
And congratulations on the honor having your number retired by the Rockford IceHogs this weekend. You had your junior number retired before, too, so only one more to go now. Got to get that number 50 up at the United Center soon.
Yeah, that'd be nice to see, but I won't hold my breath. I'll tell you that. But that's unbelievable, unbelievable. I mean, guys, we play the game to, play in the NHL. That's our dream growing up is all the little kids is to go and make it to the NHL and play and win a Stanley Cup. And I don't know how many guys, really dream about having their jerseys hung in the rafters. And, I personally didn't really think about that too much. I was more just focused on trying to make it to the NHL and then when I got there to win a Stanley Cup. So it was a crazy moment, crazy time in Moncton when it happened. It was just unbelievable to have all my family there and the guys I played with, and to do this for the Rockford organization. It means a lot. It's special. It's still part of the Chicago Blackhawks team, and that was home. That was home for me ever since I was drafted, and it means a lot to go do that there too.
You spent 3 full seasons with the IceHogs before landing here in Chicago. What kind of going back there this weekend? What's kind of your memories from spending those years out in Rockford, and how much that meant in your overall development as a player?
You learn a lot. I think being a little bit older too, having spent the last 3 of my 5 years in the AHL there. I was obviously gearing to get to the NHL, and that was my goal. And so there's a lot of ups and downs you have to go through being in the American Hockey League and learning the pro game and everything that goes with it. And I think most off is just trying to stay positive and hoping that your chance is going to come sooner rather than later. But I had a great time in Rockford. We had a great team, and a lot of guys moved on from there and had really, really good careers in the NHL. And while we were there in Rockford, we had a really good time. We spent a lot of time together, outside the rink, and it was a lot of fun to play in that city.
My turn? Oh,
yeah.
I mean, it's funny how you look back and look at the time that you had with the Blackhawks and how impactful it was. You kind of go back and you're like, why wasn't he an NHL player sooner? And I think now we're kind of in that spot with this team where we're getting anxious to see what some of the younger guys can do. What did that time in the AHL and playing in Rockford, what do you think that did for your game as you developed as a young goaltender and then prepared yourself for when you did get the call to the NHL? Like, how much did that impact your development?
I mean, it's everything. It's the practices, learning how to be a pro and come every day and work hard, and the little details, the travel, taking care of yourself. Now you're living on your own. You're not in junior. You're not living with a family anymore. So there's that side of it too, to be doing the right things away from the rink, so that when you're there and you're competing, you're in good shape and you're in the right spot. So there's lots of things that you have to go through mentally, physically, to put yourself or make yourself better to get to the NHL and be a good NHL player. It's like I said, it's a lot of up and downs. It's a grind, and when you have your mind on making the next level, it's hard to stay present and stay on the jobs you have to do. When you're constantly thinking about when your chance is, when you're going to get called up, and it kind of helps you to get back and stay present and focus on what you're doing.
And I have to imagine, especially for someone like you, who you did have to wait your turn to get your NHL shot, that first game or those first few games had to be, I would imagine, pretty nerve-wracking for you, just knowing that you had to make that great impression right away because you went right up to a contender.
Yeah. It was, I can't remember all of it, but I think I got maybe a game 1 year. I think it was 10 when they won closer to the end of the year, maybe against Anaheim, and I think we ended up losing that game. But that kind of felt like it was maybe a chance to show really what I had. And over the years, I think I struggled too early on when I went up in the NHL. Against St. Louis, that was a tough one. That was like timing was way off. It's a completely different game. So, it's more controlled, but everyone does everything a little bit better, right? So it was, it was hard. It was definitely hard to watch guys I played with. Bufflin and all those guys move up, move on, and go to the NHL, and then watch them, go for a run and win a Stanley Cup. Those are the guys I played, a bunch of years with in the minors, and I felt I could be there. So it was a tough time, but it was also a time to see what else I had, to stick with it and. See if I could do it too.
We had Marian Hossa here right before he had his number retired last year, and I asked him this question. I'm going to ask it to you now, and I have a feeling you guys are going to have the same answer. But we talked about all the great, future Hall of Famer guys worthy of jersey retirements that you had on those teams. With your Kane and Taves and Keith and Seabrook, but who's maybe the unsung guy, the guy on those Stanley Cup winning teams that doesn't get nearly enough credit, that you probably don't win without having him on that roster? Is there a guy that you look to and say, man, he doesn't get the credit he deserves?
I mean, you look down the whole lineup, there's so many guys. That Hjalmarsson is, a guy that barely gets mentioned. The defense and blocking shots, and Seabrook, how many big goals that he scored in the playoff runs in OT and against Boston, OT, Detroit. I mean, there's the list. Shawzy was unbelievable. He played like he was 6'5", and the little guy firing around, hitting everyone, and playing in front of the net. And that it was such a fun team to play on. That it was unbelievable to play in a city like Chicago and go on to do what we did. It was so much fun, and there are so many guys that contributed and did so much. It's really a team game. You have your all-stars, Kane, Taves, and Keith and stuff, but there's so many guys that did a lot during those runs. Kruger, who killing penalties and all that, he'd throw in the key goal every once in a while. And man, it's hard to say. Sharp too. It's really hard to say.
I think a lot of people would say you as an answer to that question too, as being kind of one of the unsung players and one of the more underappreciated players of that era of Blackhawks hockey. When you come back to Chicago, or when you were at the Marian Hossa jersey retirement night, when you come back and people see that you're involved with an event or anything like that, do you feel that like love in the city that's still there for you? Like, I mean, I don't know if you can see our chat, but our chat is just blowing up with such praise for you in your time. Do you feel that like when you come around?
Yeah, I mean, I run into Hawks fans quite a bit. I'm living in the area, so and my boys are playing hockey, so I run into hockey fans, hockey families, and people are awesome. The Hawks fans are unbelievable. It's fun to see all the excitement on their face when they talk about all the old games and the playoff runs and all that. It means a lot. Like we did it for ourselves, our team, but it means even more. It wouldn't be as fun if all the fans weren't there. So. The city has always been great to me, been great to all the other guys, and they really made it the fun it was. So,
yeah, I do hope you are feeling that love from the fans, because I think there was a period of time where I guess national pundits would maybe look at you as, well, he's just the goalie on a great team and he's just kind of doing his job. But when you look through the history books, and I sort of read off a little preliminary list before we got started, you are up there with the greats of this franchise. And, you're right there with Glenn Hall and Tony Esposito and Eddie Belfour, all Hall of Famers. I hope that as time has gone on, that people in Chicago love you, that, but people around the NHL can take a look and say, damn, this guy was a lot more than I think we gave him credit for during the Hawks runs. Because I think people were so easy to just say, well, you've got Kane and Taves and Hossa and Keith, and that's anyone could do it. That wasn't the case, man. You were a huge part of this, and I hope that you recognize that we all recognize that from you.
Yeah, I mean, it's a team game. Obviously, we had a great team, right? Like, we could score, and we were never really out of a game. But if you look at past Stanley Cup champions, it's really hard to see a goalie that just takes a team all the way to the end, right? You look at Tampa. Their team is pretty stacked as well. They can score. They got a lot of top end guys. It really comes down to the whole team. You need those other guys too, those unsung heroes that you talked about, guys that are blocking shots, killing penalties. There's also been teams that had a ton of skill and have lost out in the first couple rounds. There's always teams like that every year. So. I don't know. I find, when you play on a really good team as a goalie, it's about timely saves. You're not going to get as much work as a guy who plays on a team at the bottom end of the league, right? You're not going to get the 40 shots, 20 scoring chances a game. You more have to be ready for those, 5 or 6 that come at you during the game, especially in the playoffs when it tightens up. You have to be ready for those chances because you're not going to get as much work as someone else, another goalie on a weaker team. So it's hard to say, I don't really like talking about myself anyway. So, but that was, it was so much fun to play on that team, and I definitely took my heat. Also, right, like in the early years, maybe second year where it was a little more roller coaster, up and down season. But then that's something you also learn from, right? you learn to take the bad stuff, all the stuff in papers, or the guy in section whatever 100 something yelling at you and cursing you out and you suck and all that. So you learn to take that and just move on. So that's part of it, right? That's part of sports, and because they want to see the best too, right? Like they want the best out of you too. So you get to learn to brush off all that stuff.
Yeah, I want to apologize for some things that I said about you on Facebook in 2011. So I'll own up to that.
I think it was MySpace.
That's all right. Hey, I let in some shitty ones too. So I can't talk. A few from the red line that I probably should have had.
I do want to ask, how many dinners did Patrick Kane buy you when he took the Conn Smythe from you in 2013?
How many dinners did he buy me? I don't think he bought me any dinners for that.
Yeah, because that one should have been yours, I think. That 2013 team, they don't get there without you.
Oh God, I don't know. He was pretty good in that playoff too. He had a few overtime winners, I think. I can't. It's kind of all a blur of what, especially 15 and 13. I kind of mix up OT goals and stuff like that. But if I rewatch it, it'll kind of come back again. But I don't know. That stuff doesn't really matter, to be honest. I think a bunch of guys could have deserved that one, but I think just the feeling of going through it all and making it to the end, that was the best part, to be honest.
Well, I don't know if you're keeping up with the way the team is doing now. Obviously, total rebuild. Connor Bedard's here. When he's been healthy, he's been a lot of fun to watch, and I think we kind of, as we are watching this new team grow, we're trying to fill in the blanks of like, okay, who's going to be the next Patrick Kane? Who's going to be the next Corey Crawford? Who's going to be the next Duncan Keith? I want you to talk about a little bit, like, it wasn't just the fact that team was talented and that they had great players. What was it about them in terms of personality and makeup? I remember Ken Hitchcock talked about the Hawks, and he used the word resolve. And he said the team had more resolve than any of the other teams in the league. What was it that made that group, aside from their talent, so special?
Oh, man, I think Q, too. Q was a great coach or manager. He's good at managing our team and getting the best out of guys. We had everything. We had Siebes, who kept things light in the room, before games, and Shawzy too was good at that, and we just had those kind of character guys that kind of led the way, we just had that confidence. It seemed like that we would always we were never out of games, or we wouldn't let losing streaks drag on. I think that was a big part of it too. You have to have that confidence and have that will, and knowing that you're gonna come out on top most nights, right? We're talented too, and we worked hard. We worked really hard. Guys played. You need that too. Like you said, you could have all the skill, but if you're not putting it out there every night, all of it, then I mean you're gonna wind up losing. So. Q was good at that. He kept the practices short, which guys loved, and we got when we were playing, every other night. We had a lot of days off, a lot of rest, and I think guys from other teams would ask about that too. And I think that helped too. To just have so many days off and get the kind of rest that we needed with all the travel and everything that comes with playing in the league.
The 2013 Stanley Cup final, of course, we all remember the unbelievable finish to 17 seconds, but being able to win that 2015 one on home ice, I mean, how special was that? I mean, I was fortunate enough to be in the building that night. I don't think I've ever heard it louder than it was that night, especially after Duncan Keith got the goal. But can you just go through the emotions it was winning the ultimate prize, but doing it, in the building full of your fans, and just the excitement that it caused?
Oh man, I'm kind of getting goosebumps thinking about it again. Yeah, in front of your fans, that's unbelievable. It was a great feeling. To for all the work you did and leading up, it's not just that season, right? It's your whole career you lead up, and to be able to do that in front of your fans is it's amazing. It's amazing to have all there, and then we all the family and everything, and in the dressing room after and on the ice. That was special. That was the whole point of playing hockey.
What was the in 2015? Speaking of, what was that wait like on the cup? Because it was delayed in traffic because it was storming that day. You guys win the game. You're on the ice, and then it's about what 30 minutes before the cup's even there. Like what's having done it in 2013 was probably a quick turnaround. But what was that wait like in 2015?
To be honest, I didn't even know it wasn't there. I don't know. The family was on the ice and celebrating with the guys, and it was I only found out later, and then Roosevelt showed up maybe a couple hours late. I think he got stuck. There was like a storm or something in Florida, but I don't know. It didn't matter as long as it got there. I guess it was fine. But that was an unbelievable time, man. That was, one day I'll show my boys too. We haven't got there yet, but that was so much fun to do it again at home.
So what's next for you in terms of hockey? Like, do you have any visions of getting back into the game at all, coaching, or even like coaching your kids, or have you ever considered a career in the NHL or coaching juniors or anything like that?
Oh, I don't know. I saw Patrick Waugh was back with the Islanders, and I don't know. I don't honestly. I don't know if I have the personality to coach a hockey team. Maybe my little guy, my son Cooper. He's 6 now, and he's just started. They got half ice going, so they play 4-on-4 half ice little games now, which he loves. I might start with that and just coach them maybe next year when they go to full ice or in a couple of years. I'm not in a rush. I'm more focused on them right now, and that's keeping me busy. And having Bedard drafted, that's great for the young kids around Chicago. The game is growing where they go to play. There's so many young kids out there doing the learn to skate and learn to play, and it's really cool to see. And they're really lucky to have Bedard. I saw him a little bit in the Team Canada World Championships, but seeing him play, he's unbelievable talent, and it's cool that the little guys can watch him grow up as a player and watch him play.
Just like, there's kids now watching Bedard. There were kids growing up watching you and Taves and Kane and those guys, and you guys kind of reignited hockey in this town. And I think, reading your interview with Scott Powers, and we encourage everyone to check that out. Like, I hope fans don't lose sight of what you guys sacrifice physically and mentally to win these Stanley Cups. And you talked about your back pains and your the medication problems you had, and we've seen Jonathan Taves kind of forced out of the game because of what he's been dealing with, and Marian Hossa forced out of the game because of what he was dealing with. You guys sacrificed a lot, and I don't think it's lost, especially on this fan base, all that you all sacrificed to bring these 3 championships to Chicago. So I think on behalf of everybody, thank you. And we hope that you start feeling better physically soon, because you certainly deserve it.
Yeah, I mean it's a trade-off, right? We get to play hockey for a living. We make a lot of money, but like you said, it's a trade-off. We sacrifice our bodies, our brains to play the game, and make a really good living after hockey. So. It's all worth it though. It was I wouldn't trade anything it was all worth it to play in Chicago and do that. So I'd do it all over again.
We have a couple super chats in our group here. There's a common theme of the infamous 2013 parade speech that you gave. Did you ever think that would take on the life of its own that it has in the 10, 11 years since that time?
No, when I was boozing in the dressing room before the parade, I never thought that would happen. But I don't know. It's some people joke about it, make fun, and the guys always laugh about it. But my kids have seen it too. They were laughing about it. It is what it is. If you know me, like most people probably are like, where did that come from? But there's it was an unbelievable time. I might have maybe had a couple too many drinks before that. Maybe it would have toned down a little bit, but that was whatever. It was what it was.
Well, I remember being there. It was a very hot day, so you were just doing your best to keep hydrated. So I understand. And I'm sure, being at Grant Park and looking out, there was 2 million people that they said was at the rally. I'm sure being on the stage and seeing that was pretty invigorating.
Yeah, I couldn't see too far actually, but that was it was good, man. You'd go down the streets and you couldn't even see the streets. It was just packed with people every intersection, and it was crazy to see the support that we got. Was the love for Chicago sports, for the Blackhawks. It's it's nice to see everyone together and partying and having a good time and celebrating together in Chicago. The city has gone through a lot of ups and downs and a lot of stuff, and to have those moments as a city is it's pretty cool.
We're just very glad you didn't rap like Versteeg.
He asked me to join in on that one, and thank God I said no.
Good move. That was we just delete that from the dynasty. All right, we'll just forget about that part of it. Hey man, again, you've been super generous with your time. We want to thank you for it. You are always welcome on the show. You've got that link. Anytime you want to dial in and yell about hockey, just click it, and we'll be here. And we're happy to have you, man.
We're starting to get back into it a little bit. He's watching the NHL on the fly. He's crazy about it. He's got the NHL on Xbox, and he's all hockey right now. So who knows? Maybe I will jump back on.
We do live post game shows after all 82 games. Anytime you want to come in and critique the goaltending, you have an open invitation.
Yeah. Oh man, I won't do that. They've been playing really well. Mrazek too has been playing great. It's just then the kids want to see. They want Bedard to get back on the ice, but
we do too.
Trust me.
I think everyone does, but you can't rush that. So we'll see. But thanks for having me on, guys.
Congrats on the jersey retirement. We got one more super chat we want to read to you. Our buddy Bone Crusher says, "My dad got me into hockey many years ago. I bought him a new Hawks jersey for Christmas. Without any hesitation, he wanted a Crow jersey." So there you go. You're still moving merch all these years later, Corey.
Clearing it out finally.
Yeah, exactly. All right, man. We appreciate it. We're going to be there Saturday, so maybe we'll bump into you. But enjoy the night, enjoy the honor, and hopefully many more to come.
All right, thanks, man. See you guys. Appreciate it.
All right, take care.
Thanks, Corey.
There he is. That's the Crow himself, Corey Crawford.
There are still a few tickets left for Saturday night's game, according to the IceHogs. So if you still want to go check it out and see Corey Crawford get his number 29 retired in Rockford, go to the website, icehogs.com. Get your tickets now. There's they'll
be gone by the time the show is over.
They're always like, hey, there's only a few tickets left. I was told this morning by the IceHogs, they're talking a couple hundred left. So literally just a few.
Yeah, go grab them, sell out the BMO.
And if you are coming,
it's going to be a great night.
The ceremony is supposed to start at 6:25, so make sure you're there early, get to the building early, get in your seats, get ready. Should be a really good, fun ceremony. I'm looking forward to getting out there.
Yeah, and if you've never been to an IceHogs game, they're great. Like they're awesome. A lot of fun. The atmosphere is awesome. The crowd's real into it.
It's a great building for hockey. Not a bad seat in the house.
And you got Beefaroo.
You do.
You do have Beefaroo,
which is average. And I will say, if you want to make a day of it, too. You can, and the weather's nice, you can walk on to the field that the Rockford Peaches played on.
That is pretty cool.
You can go in the dugout. You can walk on the field. You can run the bases. It's right there. You just Google Rockford Peaches Field, and it will pop right up. It's very cool. So you can make a day of it in Rockford and have a damn good time.
Yeah,
and then hit up the IceHogs game at night. I definitely recommend all of that.
Good old Screw City.
Screw City.
Right next to Pound Town.
Yep. Rivals with Pound Town. Yeah, it's Saturday's going to be a lot of fun. IceHogs, hopefully they get a win. They need it. And they're going to have a pretty darn full building with Crawford ceremony, so it should be good.
The heated rivals, Chicago Wolves.
Ah, yes.
Who they have yet to beat this year.
So they were saving it for Crow.
Nice to see. It'll be nice to see Drew Camezo go out and get a shutout on Corey Crawford night.
That'd be nice.
He couldn't wear his number anymore, so least he could do is get a shutout on Crawford night. That'd be a lot of fun. Can't wait to get out there.
It's gonna be a good time. It's gonna be a good time. Looking forward to it. All right, the Hawks did practice today, and there is a little bit of news. Actually, Luke Richardson was very insightful today. A lot of info about Connor Bedard's injury and what's up with Jason Dickinson. And a whole lot, so we're probably going to share that with you.
The word pubic bone was used.
He said
multiple
pubic
times.
a lot.
Nice.
He also gave a major in there, and I was recording. I was going to give the salute.
I did. From
Thank you. Okay, I can sense it from behind me. So yeah, we're definitely going to get to today's practice. But again, if you've not gotten tickets to the game on Saturday, IceHogs.com. I'm going to assume right now it's 3:02. They'll probably be gone by 4:00. So I would jump on that quickly if you have any thoughts of going.
Yes.
Act fast, absolutely.
Yeah.
And hey, you want to act fast and cash in on some bets during the Super Bowl coming up this Sunday, you should do it through DraftKings. If you're looking for a super offer for Super Bowl 58, DraftKings Sportsbook has you covered. New customers can bet on the big game and turn $5 into $200 instantly in bonus bets. Now, I'm not going to tell you how to bet. But
that
would be illegal.
Don't do it.
If I were to look at the wagers here for the Super Bowl, I know we've talked about a couple of them. You know, over under on the number to score the first touchdown or the last touchdown, same game parlays, all that good stuff. What you want to do is go to the DraftKings Sportsbook app. You pull up the SBLVIII tab. Super Bowl 58.
Splivly.
And there's just so much you can bet on. All the prop bets are just amazing. It's one of the most fun sporting events, I think, in the world to bet on just because of how much is there. DraftKings also has squares, which I know, if you do squares at your own Super Bowl party, sometimes that can be a hassle. You got to make the poster board, and everyone's got to chip in their dollars, and you got people who aren't in attendance that still want squares. All that stuff, DraftKings, they have the squares preset for you. So that is a good way to do it. Takes the hassle out of it, and you still have all the fun of the Super Bowl squares. So download the DraftKings Sportsbook app right now and use the code CHGO. New customers can bet $5, and you're going to get $200 instantly in bonus bets only on the DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of Super Bowl 58. Again, with the code CHGO, the crown is yours. Third time's the charm, right? He said. Are we good?
Oh, I'm ready.
Just want to make sure the roof doesn't collapse on us. All right, here we go. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Or in West Virginia, visit www.1800gambler.net. In New York, call 877-8 HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas, 21 plus, age varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. See dkng.com/football for eligibility and deposit restrictions, terms, and responsible gambling resources.
Ooh,
That's a new record!
You got
Wow.
it. You got it.
Woo! Late on a draw from Steven, but that's okay.
Third time's the charm.
He was late on the end for me last night.
That's
I
all right.
had it last night.
All right, that's
Mario
a new
got
record.
you guys. It was
all right.
31:05 before, so
30.
there wasn't a half second
is in the
mistake.
mark. All right, I guess the key is to talk softer while doing it, not louder. Louder slows you down.
I did have to move your audio up a little bit when you started
That's
that.
fine.
All right.
Hey, record
Okay,
That's
how's-
a 4-second
Redemption.
deduction. Record
Redemption.
stands.
There's not a volume requirement on.
No, but you follow the key, so I'm going to whisper it.
You got to be like Mike North and turn my mic up so it's louder through the radio. Mike, that's not how audio works.
Usually when you talk louder, you sound smarter. So that's,
You know who else has squares?
Who's got squares?
Squares of tile.
Ah, yes.
Empire Today.
Hey,
You got to get a lot of squares to fill out your kitchen or your bathroom or your basement or whatever you're looking for. But you know what? You're going to get some good-ass squares because they're from Empire Today, where you get shop at home convenience, the right product for your
Good-ass
needs, maybe
squares.
rectangle, sometimes circles,
good-ass
maybe a
squares in the
hexagon
region.
now and again.
Yeah. Would circles work? I
I mean,
you'd
you
have
could
to
get like circular tile.
Yeah,
I
you'd have to have some fill in there, but Empire could figure it
I
out.
don't know how to do stuff.
If anybody
Empire
can do it,
it.
anybody can do it, Empire.
It is
That's
Empire,
right.
yes.
With them, you get the right product for your needs. That's a good start. Quick and professional installation and a low price guarantee. You know by now, you're from Chicago, you're from Chicagoland, that Empire Today is the best place to get new flooring. That's why they're a Chicagoland institution, and that's why they have copycats. But Empire cannot be beaten on quality, service, or speed. So their competitors advertise low-quality products that Empire will not waste your time with. Empire won't promise the lowest prices because anyone who does that is putting flooring in your home that they would not put in theirs. If you're not sure exactly how those thousands of little squares are going to look in your new kitchen, basement, bathroom, whatever, their virtual floor designer is a great way to see how it will look in any space. You just snap a picture of the room and instantly see how your new floors are going to look in your room. Empire Today prides themselves on their convenient shop-at-home service. They help customers shop for floors where they use their floors so they can see exactly what their new floors will look like in their home's lighting and decor so they can make an informed decision. Schedule a free in-home estimate today. All listeners can receive $350 off when they use promo code CHGO. Restrictions apply. See empiretoday.com/CHGO for details.
By the way, good ass squares 3 years ago at Riot Fest. Amazing.
Very
set.
good.
Amazing set.
Also, speaking of good-ass squares, we've got the new Tavern Style show.
Yes.
If you've not checked that out yet on the CHGO Sports Show feed
Squares and
on your
tiny
podcast
triangles.
app 4 times a week.
Yeah.
Little quick hitters on the topic of the day. So make sure you check out the CHGO Tavern Style.
Sponsored
we're doing it all the time.
by our friends at Salerno's.
I think we need to celebrate by getting some Salernos.
That sounds good.
Don't twist my arm.
Yeah, because I have not had lunch yet.
No.
Well, now you know
That's a
where you're
problem. I'm
going to
going
get
to
it.
eat this microphone
Yes,
screen.
If you
Jesus.
hear these like little small growling sounds, it's my stomach.
Or it's the
Or
roof
it's the guy
ceiling
coming through
about
the roof.
to, yeah.
Yeah.
They're doing
I don't
some.
know if they can hear that, but it's very
Does it come
distracting.
through on the mics?
I'm not getting it through the mic, but
Okay, good.
it is a very crunchy sound coming
Yeah.
from the
It's
ceiling
very-
right now.
yeah, it's
Andre
very-
the Giant and Yokozuna are doing laps up on the roof here
Or Cole
R.I.P.
Kmet's running routes.
and hitting baseball.
They're hitting more baseballs off our roof.
We should also remind you, by the way,
Yes.
become a diehard.
Yes.
You've got the rebuild report that was out Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
Today I did my Blackhawks beat where I appealed for the Blackhawks to make a red
Mm-hmm.
Winter Classic sweater. We had a little bit of a convo with some Hawks brass today, and the jersey conversation is already underway between the league and the team.
Going on right now.
Yeah,
Literally.
it's going on as we speak. So hopefully Jamie Faulkner and company saw my article and fight for a red jersey, but we'll see. I doubt it. But the Winter Classic has been months in the planning.
It was
and
made official yesterday.
Very exciting that's going to be coming here. But become a diehard. You get the rebuild report. You get access to the Blackhawks beat. You get a free shirt or hat upon sign up. You get 20% off all of our events and merch at the CHGO Locker. We've got our takeover coming up soon for Chris Chelios night /
Yes.
Patrick Kane's return. Had you been a diehard, you would have saved on that.
Yep.
And there's always tailgates and takeovers and all sorts of things going on. We've got our Discord channel where we do our overtimes after shows now and again. Tons of great stuff. So
Might
there's
jump
never
in
been a
there
better time.
on the Discord tomorrow between optional morning skate and the game. So if you're a diehard, jump in. We'll have some chats, and it'll be good.
Awesome. Yep. Become a diehard, allchgo.com. All right, we don't have a ton of time in the show left, but I do think, Greg, you were there. Probably worth playing Luke in full, don't you think? There's lots of good stuff in there.
Sure.
Luke in full?
Yeah, I think the whole thing. I think it's worthy of playing. He says pubic many times. Every time you hear pubic,
All right, I'm sold.
smash the like button.
Yes. If you have a pubic bone, hit the like button.
There you go. All right, you want to fire it up, Steven? We ready to go?
Yeah,
All right,
ready.
here is Luke Richardson after today's practice. This is about 2 hours ago.
With Dickinson, do you expect him back tomorrow? Good to go? Or?
Yeah, he should be ready to go. Just took a shot off the foot at the end of the game, so just a little maintenance. And, he seemed in good spirits, so I think it was just going to be a little sore in the boot today. So we thought we'd be smart and wait till tomorrow and try it in the morning, but I think he's going to be ready.
Is Murphy been able to skate the last couple of days? I didn't see him out there this morning.
No, I think we're just going to hold him off a few more days just to make sure that we're not pushing through something that'll get worse. So we kind of maybe learned that from AA, so we just want to make sure at early stages. So I think he'll be probably more he's week to week right now, but I wouldn't think earlier than a week, 10 days. So hopefully soon after that, but a couple days off to let it settle and then go and see if it gets better from there.
What's the next step with Bedard?
He is another doctor's appointment and scan. It's on Mondays, I believe. So it was last Monday, and it'll be next Monday, and then go from there. But I'm pretty sure he's on pretty much the 6 weeks. It was 6 to 8 weeks, and I think it's not going to probably be before 6 weeks as much as he wants it to be. But he's out and he's progressing in practice other than contact drills. So he's out there still having fun with the guys. So it's he's starting to have a smile on his face and feeling back to normal.
Once he's cleared for contact, I mean, considering that he's been able to shoot and stay, I mean, do you expect him to kind of ramp it up pretty quickly? Where you guys can?
Yeah, I think so. I think it'll just to get him into a couple practices that get him used to the looking for contact and avoiding contact and bracing for it and being ready for it. So just like anybody that's been out with an injury that's going to need some contact in practice, probably a lighter one-on-one, and then advance it into a full practice. Like today at the end, we had a full up and down 5-on-5 D zone offensive zone practice. Once he gets a few of those in, I think he'll be ready to go because he's skating and in the gym quite a bit.
When we not to get a state secret, but in hockey, when we say groin injury, are we sometimes referring to a psoas injury?
A what?
A psoas, the thing that connects you, the hip flexor.
Oh yeah, no, it's fine line. I think some connect. Some of those injuries are connected and some aren't, and some it's that pubic area where it's the pubic bone that gets irritated. It's really no pull or anything. It's just painful, and it could lead to protecting it, and then you hurt something else. So all those things you never really know what it actually is. They're all kind of connected, but that's my answer to that. I don't know.
Just was checking.
It's a long-winded answer to say I don't know.
Some teams give it as upper body, lower bodies.
There's every hockey player has hip, labrum tears. If you look at the groin or the pubic bone area, every hockey player has them if you looked at it at the end of their career. So some of them, they're not as big and you can play through them, and some bodies types can the way you skate or the way you're structured, and some you just can't. You got to shut down and let it heal. So we have guys in all those categories throughout the lineup, and including all the guys behind the bench. Anybody that's played hockey for that long is going to have all those. If you took a scan, so you don't know if it's recent or if it's a long time ago.
The only
through your career, do you kind of have to pick up general knowledge about that stuff, or is
You just do. That's the luxury of having a long career. You know what I mean? I was fortunate enough I didn't have a lot of major joint injuries out. You know, like I think it was a broken foot once and a broken jaw and a broken orbital bone. So like things that were just kind of impact things. I was lucky that I wore preventive knee braces when I was in junior. One guy came back from Pittsburgh's camp and he made everybody wear the linemen wear them before you wreck your knee. They're kind of a preventive one and they're less invasive and really easy to put on, and they're not sized for anybody other than large, extra large, or medium. And I just thought for a tall, kind of gangly teenager, it was a good idea. So I got two on my own. And other teams, when I get to a new team, everybody's like, "Oh, you have knee injuries?" I'm like, "Nope, and I don't plan on it." So a couple times I blocked a shot once and I broke one on the side. And then one time a guy fell on me from the side when I was in front of the net, very similar to a football and lineman. You don't see a guy coming, and he landed on the side of my knee, and I felt it go, but the knee brace just held it enough that I didn't miss a shift, let alone 2 or 3 weeks or more. So I don't think I'm not promoting guys to do that. I think everybody has to do what they're comfortable with, and I just thought it was a good idea and it worked for me.
It's still a month out, but this trade deadline is going to feel probably a lot different than last year. Can you sense that already? Where you were asking questions, we didn't ask questions probably in December, January last year.
Yeah, I think there's definitely we have guys in situations that we're going to be in that situation that we kind of locked up the three guys, and there's a few other guys around that could be in that situation, but it's hard with the cap situation. For the other teams to pick up guys that have maybe too much money on the cap, and for us, we have some younger guys in the lineup that aren't going anywhere. So definitely, it's a different feel this year than last year, and for the coaches, hopefully it'll be easier because we can just. Although last year didn't go too bad, I thought we finished off pretty strong, but it is a bit of a mad scramble when guys are being held out last minute, and we understand the business, so we just have to scramble a bit more. And it doesn't just change lines; it changes power play combinations that you work all week on, and then all of a sudden it's changed the day of the game. And same as penalty killing combinations that seem to work well. So right now we're kind of focusing on a little bit of those areas, trying to get guys back and get them a little bit more attentive to the special teams because we're in so many of these close games. That's going to make a big difference for us. So it's going to be a little bit easier this year, I think, if there's less player movement for us to try and keep that consistency and try and build those special teams up the second half of the year, because that's what most teams do. The teams that are going into the playoffs, they have to have them running on all cylinders. And a little bit of that is a health, but a little bit of it is just working on it in practice this time of the year. You're not really grinding. You hopefully have your systems down pat, which we're happy with right now. But we still have to work on those a little bit after a break. But if we can really hone in on our systems in the game and work on those special teams to get us over this hump, that's what our plan is right now. So it should be a little bit easier going into this trade deadline if there's less player movement.
About the tight games, you've got some. Sorry to bring it up, but you've been missing the chances. Does this just kind of reinforce that? Hey, you look at a guy like a Blackwell or a Kachuk. They're National Hockey League players, and they're in the tiny 1% of the 1% of all hockey players. But in order to finish those chances, you've even got to be in that even a smaller group. Does that just kind of, emphasize to fans how elite you have to be a scorer in the National Hockey League?
For sure, and I think that's not to take away from anybody that's playing now or to put too much pressure on Connor, but that's what his he's known for. He's known for finishing and scoring big goals, and one player out of our lineup like that, it makes a big difference. And we have him, Taylor Hall, AA. We have a bunch of those guys that are out of there right now. So those other guys have done a great job, like Blackwell, Dickinson, and Anderson. You can't say enough about what they've done to the other line. I think they stifled the big line yesterday in Minnesota so much that they had to change them and move them around in the third period and separate them. So that made it actually more difficult for me to try and figure out when to get Dickinson out there, but I usually try to get him out against Kaprizov. But, I think that's their role, and they've really added some offense to our, which is a plus this year, but really their role is they're doing their role, and we're asking them to do a lot more. And Dickinson especially has really filled that really well, but now we're asking 10 more players to do that. And it does show a little bit, but I think our guys are, excited to have an opportunity, and they're creating those chances. I think when you don't create those chances, then you don't feel like you belong, or you start to really, for me, it would get to your your confidence, I think, and I think some of them get down on themselves a little bit for missing the chances. But I just keep reassuring guys like Reichel and Radish and guys that are really doing a lot of good things on the ice and creating those chances. When they stop coming, I think that's when we'll start worrying. But I think we still have to put the work in and bear down. So today we had a couple drills where we just catch and release pucks like quick, trying to catch it, look where the goalie is, and make a split second decision. And in the game, I think we might hold on to it another half second just to see what's going on, instead of just releasing it quick and driving the net and being simple and getting a rebound or a lucky bounce and a goal, and it doesn't go in for us. So even at the end of the game, Donato to Blackwell, took the goalie right out of his crease, and it just hits a skate. Like there was 4 legs in there, but there was also 4 openings in between those legs where it was going to go, and it just wouldn't pick the right spot for us. So we just got to continue to work on it and trust that we're working in the right direction, and it's creating some good offense, and we're going to get it done.
Your confidence is so high, Dickinson. It seems like you can send him out against any team's top line. Is he a guy that you think should get more league-wide attention for his defensive ability and even Selke consideration?
Yeah, I do. I think he's the perfect example of that. Like, he might not have the highest offensive pedigree as a Bergeron, but he's also not playing with Pasternak and Marchand. So, I think he's done a great job in all aspects of our game, and even internally, leadership in the dressing room and on the bench. So I think he fits right into that. I'd have a hard time picking 5 guys in the league that I'd put ahead of him for that role. And you know what? If we didn't lock him up and we didn't think of him that much to help us guide a lot of the young guys and value his play going forward, I think he would be probably at the top of the list at trade deadline for teams that are really going for it, because he would fit in. You could put him anywhere in your lineup other than maybe goalie, and he would help your team.
All right. Pubic.
I love that. That's what you took out of the 11-minute availability.
That's all I got. This was like Beavis and Butthead laughing in my head.
I'll tell you what, though. Like, I was looking down, like tweeting, Jason Dickinson expected to play tomorrow, and all of a sudden I hear pubic, and I look up, I'm like,
that caught your attention.
I was like, no, he didn't say that. And I go back then, and like 2 minutes, I'm like, no, wait, there it is again.
We're chilling.
You never know when you're gonna get a quick anatomy lesson.
Hey. See, we were talking to Emma, our social media coordinator. She's like, I'm graduating college this week. I'm going to be an adult. It's like, no. I'm 46 and I'm still not an adult. Don't worry about it, Emma. You're fine.
Adult is a state of mind. And,
yeah.
As long as you don't allow it to seep in, you'll be fine.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. But you could tell in practice today that the message was shoot the puck.
Yep.
That was very much the message in most of the drills they did today. And they did it. And I got to say, I said to you, power play 2 looked pretty good. Lucas Reichel on the left wing was making things happen. I mean, it was the Hawks penalty killing.
Sure.
So,
Yeah, it was also like 3/4 speed, but baby steps.
Sure.
Like,
I don't know.
Hopefully it translates to tomorrow night.
I can't. I gotta give myself a Reichel break. I can't just obsess over it. I know it's with Bedard out, it's like the main story of the season, but it's too frustrating. But I want him to get opportunities. I think it's time to okay. And Luke sort of said it. We just heard it. He mentioned him and Radish as guys doing the right things and not getting rewards. Mm-hmm. Maybe you could debate that. Fine. But, okay, if Luke feels that Reichel's doing the right things, then give him a shot on the top power play unit. I'm sorry.
Sure, yeah.
All respect to Tyler Johnson. I know you're trying to maximize trade value or whatever you're trying to do, but, if you're trying to get this kid going, that's the way you do it, especially when you score 1 goal per game.
Right.
Try something new. That's all.
Try something new. like we talked about last night. Like I think we're getting to the end of the new ideas when it comes to players like Reichel and Radish and all that. Like it kind of just feels like this is what you're gonna get. Like I really don't know what new lineup combinations are gonna make major differences. With Bedard out, especially, hopefully that's only going to be another 2 games or so. But I just I saw people today were upset that Lucas Reichel was on the 4th line, and I said to you guys, I'm just like, they're all 4th lines.
They're all 4th.
Unless Bedard's in the lineup, they're all 4th lines. So you can mix and match whatever you want. It's all kind of going to be the same. So I just think once Bedard's back, I would like to say that Reichel has earned an opportunity to play with him again and see if that can go, because it worked for a short term when they did play together earlier this year, but it was only 2-3 games. It worked for a game or 2, and then it didn't work for a game, and then they were switched out off of each other's lines. So, yeah, I think it's just a matter of so for some of these guys, just being able to pull themselves out of these slumps or whatever it tends to be.
I mean, as you said, it kind of is what it is now. Like, there's not a whole lot of different dynamic combinations you can make right now. Obviously, when when Bedard gets back, that's the spot everybody's going to want to be at. But with him not in the lineup, it's all kind of the same.
Yeah.
Like, there's not a lot. Like, the second line, the Dickinson line isn't going to change anytime soon, because that's, as he said as Luke said today, that's his defensive shutdown line with Anderson and Blackwell. But I still say play until Bedard comes back. Play Reichel with Dickinson.
Why not try it?
Everybody seems to elevate their game when they're on the same line as Jason Dickinson. If you want Lucas Reichel to play that simple, straight-ahead game, what better way to do it than on Jason Dickinson's wing? Because that's the type of game. That's the exact game Jason Dickinson plays. So that's. I'd like to see that. I don't think that's going to happen. I think that line when Anderson and Blackwell is just relied upon too much defensively. Maybe when Bedard comes back, you could break it up, because you can maybe afford sacrifice a little defense for a little more offense when you know you have a little more scoring ability. Now you have to do everything so perfect defensively, because the second you give up that second goal, the game's over.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, and they know it. They know the game's over too. Before we end, can we just address that the Lucas Reichel for Capo Caco trade is not happening?
No.
The New York Rangers are trying to win a cup, not get worse.
Yeah.
I know
they're not moving him for anything lateral either, which it wouldn't be one for one.
No, the Rangers still believe he has a lot of value, and if they're going to trade him, they're going to trade him for somebody that can help them win the Stanley Cup this year. That's not Lucas Reichel.
Immediate impact.
Yeah, I mean, because they're not trading their first-round pick, apparently, because they have to get on stage.
They have to have their
clown shoe, unserious organization.
That's that's quite the
I own
choice.
the Sphere. We need to get on stage to make the 20th pick of the draft. That's more important than getting Elias Lindholm and maybe winning a cup this year.
I'm sure Chris Drury is just thrilled that the owner's like, no, you can't trade a first-round pick.
Oh, and I guarantee you it was Chris Drury who put that out there.
Yes.
There's no doubt in my mind. As soon as he got that email, he was like, hey, Elliot Freeman, get a load of this crap.
Dear media, this is something you should say, not from me.
Hey, you know what else you should do?
What?
Speaking of people you should reach out to and make immediate transactions with, is our guy, Charlie the Bacon Guy.
Yes.
Charles
T. Bacon fellow.
Of Hockey DB fame.
Yes, he even has his own Hockey DB page. Charlie the Bacon Guy is based out of Woodridge and makes craft bacon and bacon jams in over 35 different flavors. You want a last-minute addition to your Super Bowl spread that is going to put it over the top?
Yes.
Put some Charlie the Bacon Guy bacon right in the middle of that spread, and it's going to be the champion of the day, regardless of who wins the big game. The bacon and bacon jams are all naturally cured, preservative-free products There aren't any ingredients that Charlie can't pronounce himself involved in the process, unlike most of those store-bought bacons. It's vacuum sealed. It freezes perfectly. Freezing bacon. Will bacon last long enough to freeze? I don't get that. That doesn't compute.
I mean, if you order like 20 pounds of it.
Yeah, which
that's
you should.
Called Saturday. Like this freezing bacon concept is foreign to me because I usually eat it up right away. But hey, for those you want to save it, bacon lasts in the package up to 60 days in the fridge, or 1 week after the seal's broken, and 9 months in the freezer. Forget 9 months in the oven, 9 months in the freezer. Bacon jam lasts about 90 days in the fridge or 1 year in the freezer. All of it lasts about 90 seconds in my house. That's how good it is. Some of the favorite flavors you can get: the maple pepper, rosemary, chorizo, French toast, Korean barbecue, ranch, Old Bay, and some of the bacon jam flavors. The original bourbon and the spicy. The bacon jam is awesome. You can put it in your scrambled eggs, put it on toast, crackers, burgers, your grilled cheese sandwich, your charcuterie boards, or Charlie's favorite, the spoon.
Yep.
I don't even use a spoon. I just
grab it.
I eat it like Randy in A Christmas Story.
Just chug it.
Like the little piggies.
Show me how the piggies eat.
And starting now, you can save 10% on your order at charliethebaconguy.com when you use the promo code CHGO at checkout. You can pick it up from Charlie. That's the most efficient way. Or he'll deliver it to you, meet you halfway, or even ship it. He makes the bacon so you can bring it home. Once again, that's charliethebaconguy.com.
Yes, and we do have a super chat we need to knock out here really quick from Evil Bills. He says, thank you, Corey, for the epic memories. Thank you, CHGO, for bringing this epic content. Of course,
welcome.
That was a lot of fun.
That is an epic super
and
chat.
Thanks to our friends at the IceHogs for helping get that done.
Yeah, it was great.
And if you are, again, check it out, icehogs.com. Get tickets to that game. There's not a bad seat in the house.
Nope.
So, yeah, head on over to Rockford.
The press.
It'll be a really good time. We'll be there eating hot dogs and pretzels.
Yeah, guys, we had a bunch of new subscribers during the show today.
Awesome.
In fact, as I'm saying this, I just see we just got another one.
Hell yeah.
Everyone, I saw a lot of new names in the chat today. Please hit the subscribe button. It helps us get guests like this more often. And also hit the like button.
Yeah. See, that's
hit every button possible.
Yeah, I mean,
in support of us.
That's the thing. If Corey Crawford's like, what is this? He, before we started the show, he said, how long you guys been doing this?
Yeah.
Clearly the first experience with us. He sees the interaction. He sees the different names. He sees the likes piling up. He sees the subscribers. He's going to see stuff on social media. Okay, that was worth my time. That was worth doing. And the more likes, the more subscribers we have, the more of a signal we have.
Growth.
And it helps you, the viewer, to help us, the content provider. It's mutually beneficial. So, yeah, smash that like button for us every time you see a CHGO video. How about you're on social media and maybe you're not a Bulls fan, but a CHGO Bulls video pops up? Just hit that heart. Yeah. Every little bit of interaction helps us out big time, and especially if you become a diehard. And there's great value in it. Again, we told you about it a little bit earlier, but you get a free shirt or hat upon sign up, 20% off everything at chgolocker.com, 20% off all of our events and takeovers, access to our members-only Discord. Great value. You go to one event, you get your free shirt. It basically pays for itself. It's an awesome, awesome value, and it helps us out big time. Go to allchgo.com for more details.
Luke says, what if you're already subbed? Well, Luke, you would tell your friends to do the same.
Yep.
Subscribe. And
burner accounts.
If you don't have any friends, make your own burner accounts. And if you're like Mackenzie and Whistle and don't have a family to tell, make your own burner family accounts.
Family to make one.
Yeah.
As Steven points out, there is no limit on burner accounts. Make 1 million accounts, subscribe them all to the show.
Well, and that's what we're talking about, too, with the social media stuff. Follow CHGO Sports on social media, and every time you see one of our videos pop up, just hit that heart. It takes half a second.
Yeah.
You like something, share it. Yeah. That's the way you help us grow. So we appreciate all your support. We appreciate Corey Crawford coming on.
Yes.
We're going to talk to you all tomorrow night after Hawks and Rangers, a very aesthetically pleasing game.
Hey, speaking of trading Lucas Reichel for Capo Caco,
maybe it'll happen before
just
the game.
Switch locker rooms, buds.
There you go.
I'm down. If
confirmed. It's going to happen.
I just don't see it happening.
Yeah.
All right. We'll talk to you all tomorrow after Hawks and Rangers on the CHGO Blackhawks
And
podcast.
we would like to remind you that we're powered
Thank
by
you.
ComEd.
Oh, Steven with the save.
You want to finish it?
No.
What's that website, Steven?
Come on, Steven. You've heard this how many times?
All right, let me do it. Thank you. Thank you for reminding me. We are powered by ComEd, like Steven said. It's getting easier for your business to switch to electric vehicles. Learn more at ComEd.com/clean. Go back in the podcast. and listen to our organic conversation about
Steven comes through even after you dogged him for his editing abilities, Jay. It's just
I said me. I said I should have edited that better.
Blame on that one.
Jerks. I hate you guys. All right, we'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye.
We all silly like the mayor.